Good morning. I still have sleepy voice. I still have sleepy face. Oh my gosh. Wait. Huh? Huh? I still have sleepy face. So that is what it is this morning. Ugh, let me at least, y'all get to see me all, in rare form. All right. Good morning. How is everybody today? Happy Friday to you. Shout out to the women in the Central Energy Coven. Last night's chat was fun. The ladies had me cracking up, laughing. What do we talked about? First of all, they went in on New York, the city specifically, but I totally relate. Talked about vaccines. Uh, we just talked about a lot of shit. Like that's what the monthly chats are about. It's just like it's like a slumber party, except you're not sleeping over somebody's house. So I like it. I love the vibe. I think it's really cool. And it's the other women that make it so. So thank you all who are in the coven. Um, I got nothing this morning, to be honest with you. I did not I slept in late this morning. I was exhausted from yesterday, didn't drink enough water, and turned my shower into meditation. When you take your shower, like that's another form. Like, do you like take the time to really just like feel on your skin, see the water on your skin, like feel into the parts of your body? Um, Without it being a self-pleasure session. Like my shower this morning wasn't a self-pleasure session. And in the sense of, masturbation. It was self-pleasure in the sense that, I just let the water do what it did, and just turned it into just a mindful thing, because I don't think we often touch our bodies in mindful ways. Oh, you know what? And there we go. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to talk about this on Facebook. I'm just gonna go for it. All right. So when I was doing the art of oral lovemaking class, um, and I will bring it back sometime later in 2021. One of the things that I noticed was how little men's phalluses are touched, like actually just touched. And in speaking with men, I noticed how little they were touched too. Now, ladies, I promise you, I can do a whole live stream on how you need to be touched too. I really, really can. I'm a woman, but this is just what came to me this morning. So if you're not interested in touching a man's phallus, this would probably be the time to exit this live stream. um, so what I've learned from men is that they are not touched unless it's in preparation for sex. And many of them have expressed to me that that bothers them. That it bothers them. Um, they like, okay, so have you ever, I don't know why it's just so weird for me to talk about, but ladies, have you ever just laid with your man and just stroked him? Not to get him hard, not to get him off, but the same way you would stroke his shoulder, his arm, his back, his chest. Just a relaxing stroke. Because that, like, penises need hugs too. I'm gonna write that today. They need hugs too. And it actually, doing those types of things helps him to be more open emotionally to you and more connected to his heart space. Like, men are not like major talkers. right? So we're talkers. We will all day long. Men are not major talkers. And I remember learning in psychology eons ago, like men use up all of their words during the day. Like they just don't speak as many words as we do. For some women, that then we think that translates into somehow they don't feel as many feelings as we do, and they feel every single feeling that we feel. They just do not express it the same. And can we look, I don't know what this thing is happening that makes it seem like men and women are supposed to be the same. We're literally not the same. Our hormonal makeup is different. Our energy signatures are different. The way we move in the world is different. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I really wish we would stop making it seem like men are supposed to be more like women. Because that's really what it is. It's not like, you know what I mean? Or no, or in society in general, that women are supposed to be more like men. Either way, actually. So men don't always talk about their feelings the way we do. It's not a flaw on their part. It's just generally not their makeup. But we steadily keep trying to force them to talk to us like how we would want to talk to them, right? You see what I'm saying? Like we want them to talk to us like how it would sound if we were talking to them. That's not gonna happen. So one of the ways that you can help a man that you're intimate with to connect with you is to stroke his cock, his dick, his lingam, his phallus, his penis, whatever you're calling it, whatever floats his boat, your boat, all the boats. Is to literally just stroke it. Hold it. Just hold it. You don't have to be doing anything. Just in the bed while y'all are talking, you know, while he's reading, whatever, you just ruminating over something, having a good time, and just, and don't forget the testicles. Just, I don't know what the hell the title for this one is going to be. I'm gonna go back and change it because I don't know. Just literally just taking time to be with it. Because what ends up happening, and this is the cycle that takes place, so I'm just telling the ladies from a man's point of view, from the men that I've spoken to, and if there are men watching this, by all means feel free to let me know, be like, nah, you way off base. I mean, because I can only go on the men that I've worked with, that I've done body work with, and that I've talked to. What happens is then they end up feeling like they're not actually wanted, desired, needed. Like they could disappear and someone else could be in their place. That they're not valued except for giving you your orgasms or your financial stability. And so now with that feeling, and I'll check the comments on this later. I want you to understand this is not a right or wrong, good or bad thing. And I need everyone to get those concepts out of their head, right? Well, they shouldn't think that way or whatever people should or shouldn't. This is how, just like you would want your feelings honored, whether you should or shouldn't feel that way, men deserve the same. Just like however it is you're feeling about whatever is being done, they deserve the same. There are no victims here. And it's not a tit for tat and either or. So this is what men have expressed, right? And they are allowed that. So they end up feeling like, I mean, what am I? And that's their way of, how am I special? To translate it. And I shit you not, like the simplest things, like stroking his dick, just, and again, not because you're looking to get something out of it, or because it's a chore, or I guess I got to do this now. Like, I want y'all to know that they can feel that. You think they don't feel that? They can feel that. They feel when you approach their body with, you know, let me suck this. Let me suck this dick just enough to get him going so we can just go ahead and have sex. They can feel that. They can, you know, they might not always know when you're faking an orgasm, and ladies, please stop faking orgasms. Just, it serves no, it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help them. It doesn't, it's not your, I know you think you're saving their ego, or you're just trying to get it over with, which is even worse. Why are you even having sex with someone if you're just trying to get it over with? Like, that sucks for both of you. Over time, that just builds into resentment. So please stop doing that too. But they can feel the energy of a woman who's coming to them with, let me do this, versus someone who's coming to them with, I want you. It's just different. And really, something so small as just stroking them, just a massage. Just a massage, same way you would massage any other part of their body, you know, is really helpful to men. And helps them feel valued. Like, you're not, it's like, I'm not looking to get anything out of this. And they become so relaxed, like just so relaxed. When you do that to them, it's just like, and then they start to open up more. You do it over time, they will open up to you more. And these feelings that you may have of feeling like he's not communicating with you and he's not connecting with you, you'll see the shift. And it's really, I tell you, they want that too. I'm not saying men don't want sex, but we keep putting this, I think society keeps putting this on them. Like we put that on them. Men always want sex. So boys grow up like, yeah, we always want sex. And they really don't. Like, yeah, they go through a period where the testosterone is all out there. It doesn't mean that they want sex all the time, but it doesn't mean that testosterone needs to be doing something, right? It needs some activity. But we put this on them. Like, yeah, I'm always, and dude be like, nah, I'm good. Like, I can't tell you how many men are just like, yes, I love sex. Yes, I have a high sex drive. Some of them are like, nah, I'm really good with like 2-3 times a week. But society keeps telling them that they're supposed to like be wanting it like 5 times a day, you know? And there's a message given to boys that's like, because they get erections must mean that they're supposed to want to have sex. So imagine if you're 12 and 13 and you're getting a boner like 5 times a day. In your mind, you're thinking, oh, that must mean that I'm supposed to be doing this that many times a day, not understanding that it's your body just working through its natural course of whatever it's doing. It's not necessarily an indicator that one must insert one's penis somewhere. But if you don't have anyone saying these things to you or explaining to you how biology works, and all you have is society, well, now you grow up thinking, I'm just supposed to be fucking all the time. And then when you add on other things that boys and young men experience, and how they, like women, will also use sex as a way to make up for feelings of inadequacy. Men, like women, will also use sex as a way to hide pain. Men do the same thing. It's not just women who do these things. And I've said in my Art of Oral Lovemaking class, you know, some of these men who are out here that women are constantly calling dogs and doing all of this other thing, some of those are boys who have been sexually abused and by a man, and they're desperately trying to find the center of their manhood by sexing as many women as they can to prove that they're okay. Same thing sometimes happens with girls. So we need to stop making all these assumptions about people and what they're doing and why they're doing them, unless you have a full understanding or I've had a conversation with them about their story. This does not mean that there just aren't jerks out there. But to blanketly label someone, and we often do this based on hearsay, without having all of the full information or just the woman's side. And we need to start being able to go, well, hold on, what's really happening here? And not just make full assumptions. So, stroke his penis. Give him a nice massage. Don't forget the testicles, if that works for him. It helps him to connect to himself. It helps him to feel like he is more than just your live vibrator. It really does help men to feel more connected to themselves when we do that. This line from WAP is playing in my head. I don't know why. It has been running through my head this whole morning. And it's the line where Megan Thee Stallion says, "You really ain't never got him fucking for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came." And I don't know why that line is playing through. You know, I end up starting to talk through things, right, with you guys while I'm on here. Like that line has been constantly going through my head as I've been talking to you. And it was in my head in the shower. And I'm feeling into it, trying to figure out what it is and how it ties into this. And I feel like it has something to do with manipulation. So rock with me, right? Because I don't know what's going on. So you rocking with me right now, okay? So that's one of my favorite lines out of that whole song, because to me, what she's saying is, you don't have to have sex with a dude for him to do things for you. He'd already decided that he wanted to do this for you. He'd already made up his mind. Now, the song talks about things from totally different. The one thing about rap, if you don't know, is that rap talks about things from like 5 different angles. It's like a prism, right? And so there's the angle of, you don't have to manipulate him to do any of that, to get anything from him, because he's going to do it if he wants to. There's the angle of, yeah, because my pussy's so wet, he's decided that, he wants to do these things, right? Because these are all different scenarios. These are all different scenarios. And so it's not like one fine line story. It's like, well, this is what happens if this is here. And this is what happens if I need this. And this is what happens if this happens, right? So when you go back and listen to that song, see how many different scenarios you can point out. I'm giving you homework. See how many different scenarios you can point out from, yeah, I can manipulate him to get what I want, to he does it for me because he wants to yeah, I gave him sex and he gave me this in return, to like, you can really do that through that song. So this particular line was running through my head. It's one of my favorites because, going back to what I talked about yesterday, and this does tie into men and what I just talked about. Hi. This idea that men are boys that need to be manipulated into doing what we need them to do, because otherwise they can't think for themselves. Like, they can't decide for themselves what happens. They're not grown-ups. Like, we think of men as a collective, as women, like they're boys, like there are sons that need to be told what to do. And we make fun, it's cute, like the honey-do list and things like that. We diminish them and we belittle them, but we want them to be men at the same time. It's very confusing. It's very confusing for them as well. Just, it's like, well, what am I doing? Which way am I going? Like, what's happening here? If I'm too manly, then it's like I'm toxic, and if I'm not manly enough, then it's like, oh boy, goodbye. And so it's like, what? And what I want to tell men is, look, go do you, be you, and the right women will come to you. And also, male mentorship is very important and it's necessary. But so it is not necessary for us to play a role to get a man to do something. Unless you're in a kink world, then obviously you're playing a role. And the best way is to honor him where he is. And in doing so, he will want to do more for you. He just will. You ain't really never gotta fuck him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. He already made his mind up. Men think for themselves all the fucking time. They're not boys. They're men. And even with boys, you know, there comes a point where the mothering needs to stop for us. Like the mothering has to stop, you know? And the womaning needs to come in, which is different. It's different. It's a different energy, mother versus woman. And some of us, especially those of us who are mothers, forget that. We take on all the energy of mother and we discard the energy of woman. And we take that energy of mother into our relationships. So going back to that, one of the ways to connect with him, because you ain't gotta fuck him, right? You don't have to sex him. You don't have to just stroke him to get him hard so that you can have the sex so that it can be all right. That's that passive sex I talked about yesterday. Just stroke him. Give him a massage. Just y'all are laying, yeah, like I said, y'all are laying there, you know, you're watching TV, I don't know what you're doing, your head is on his chest. You know, you're stroking his chest, just, you know, just stroke. I mean, and if it turns into great sex, it turns into great sex. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. He might fall asleep. I've actually had that happen with clients, like literally, you know, doing a lingam massage and they fall asleep. It's a beautiful thing to actually see. How being that gentle with their most prized part of their body can relax a man to the point where he feels safe enough to sleep on a massage table in a room. Safety. You stroke him like that, he feels safe with you. You massage him like that, he feels relaxed with you. Can you understand the difference? I want you guys to try it. And I would love to hear from women who may have never done this before, considered it before. DM me and let me know how it went. Some of the men might be a little surprised. They might be like, you trying to, you're like, no, I just want to, they have to let their guard down. They have to let their guard down with you. And that's one of the ways to do it. I just gave y'all a whole class, like for real. Seriously. It's one of the things that I teach in my Art of Oral Lovemaking class. The fact that men have emotions and that massaging their lingam really helps them to let their guard down and helps them to relax. So take that freebie. Use it this Friday, Venus Day, Lover Day. It's the weekend. Put the kids to bed early. It's Friday night. Go enjoy each other. All right. I love you. I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Bye.